I'm Tim Baines. I'm with Don Brennan. We're with Post Media, and we're going to talk about, for the Ottawa-redblacks, what's going to go down as, for sure, for them, a heartbreaking Grey Cup loss to the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, I mean, not a surprise, though, because I told you yesterday, and I told everybody that Calgary was going to win this game their third time in a row at the Grey Cup. Lost to the Red Blacks 2 years ago. They were the better team today. They played better offensively, defensively, and on special teams. Defensively, the Red Blacks had chances to stop them and maybe get something going, and they couldn't in a couple of key times. But the play of the game, Tim, I think, was the punt in the last minute of the first half that was returned 97 yards for a touchdown. That went from being a 14-11 game for Calgary to a +7.
Yeah, we always talk about momentum-changing plays, and I think the Ottawa defense played really well. I think the offense maybe didn't play up to the level they expected, but you're right, that play, 20 seconds left in the first half, and everybody's thinking, punt towards the sideline, box him in, or get the ball out of bounds. Now, I think I initially thought, okay, just kick it outside. Kick it out of bounds. If it's outside the 20, you're going to take a penalty. The problem is, you kick it out of bounds, they have an option to move you back 10 yards, and you got to punt it again. So I think the direction of the punt was the problem. Now the rest is history. Terry Williams takes the punt, goes 97 yards, and really that was a backbreaker.
I think they were referring to him as Terry Gizmo Williams in the press box, but after the old Henry Gizmo Williams thing. I think we have to talk a little bit, Tim, about the field conditions out here today. Red Blacks didn't practice on Commonwealth Stadium turf all week. They came here for the walkthrough, and I don't think it would have made a difference if they had. But it was very, very hard, and it was very, very slippery out there today. Now, that goes the same disadvantages for both teams, but it just turned it into a really sloppy game. It's too bad, because here we have two very good teams playing in the Grey Cup, and there was just so many mistakes. They couldn't cut, then they couldn't break. And I mean, it just turned into some ugliness there.
Yeah, as you said, the Eskimos aren't playing in this game.
No,
the Stampeders were playing in the game. The Stampeders did practice on this turf, but they had mistakes too. Both teams were losing their footing. There's got to be a way. There's got to be some kind of cover you can put on the field for a couple of days, and just keep it warm. Because I mean, it's not like the temperature across Canada is much different. I mean, but the field here, for whatever reason, was hard and very slippery today.
And you wrote about coming a little closer. You wrote about coming into this thing too, the battle between Bo Levi Mitchell and Trevor Harris. Both quarterbacks made early mistakes. I think that Trevor Harris's mistake cost them more. Calgary turned his interception quickly a couple plays later into the first touchdown of the game. On the whole, I think Trevor Harris completed 20 of 38 passes, one touchdown to Julian Fulio. JFG, which I predicted he'd have a big game, but he threw 3 interceptions, and again, I think that you can't put it all on the quarterback in interceptions in conditions like this. The receivers are going out, they're cutting, they're falling, they're whatever. I'm not putting it all on him, but the 20 of 38 passes, and it wasn't a good enough performance for Trevor Harris. Tim, is it going to be his last game as a Red Black? Do they re-sign him? Because there's a whole bunch of quarterbacks going to become free agents in July.
Yeah, there's a lot of free agents, February actually, but there's a lot of free agents. I think with a lot of teams, a lot of banner quarterbacks available. It's going to be an interesting offseason. The Red Blacks are going to have to move on. Coach Wally Buono said the other day that losing sticks with you. It's very difficult when something like this happens because you can't get it out of your mind. And the Red Blacks are going to have to move on. A good season, but I'm sure still a disappointing season in that they got to the big game and they're going away empty-handed.
I don't know that you can feel too bad for the Red Blacks. They did have a good season. They've been to the Grey Cup 3 times in the last 4 years. Yeah, losing sticks with you. But you get to this far, there's got to be a winner, there's got to be a loser. Calgary had lost the last 2. Calgary's a perennial powerhouse in the CFL. I mean, if you can aim to be in the Grey Cup game every November against Calgary, you're happy. Or just reach, the East is weak right now. They've got a good team, and I expect that they're going to take a good run at it again next season.
Yeah, full marks to the Stampeders for a great game. The Red Blacks will move on, and we're going to move on too. For Post Media, I'm Tim Baines, and you are
Don Brennan.